Biblical Shakers is going from the New Testament to the Old Testament this week. So put on your history thinking caps as we dive into the lives of very important people chosen by God. Put your bookmark into the books of 1st and 2nd Samuel for the next few months. We will begin with the introduction to 1st Samuel this week, along with the first 4 chapters. There are corresponding daily devotions for each day. This week they are written by Dolores and Bart. Let's ready ourselves to learn some biblical history. 1st Samuel is a book of good beginnings and tragic endings. It begins with Eli as high priest during the time of the judges and records the life of Samuel, Israel's last judge, the reign and decline of Saul, the first king, and the choice and preparation of David, Israel's greatest king. Their careers overlap as the story of Israel's monarchy unfolds. Where does the story of Samuel begin? Well, chapter 1 tells the story so well. His mother's name was Hannah, which means grace. She brought very honestly to the Lord her problem of not being able to bear children. Instead of giving up hope and retaliating, she took it to the Lord in prayer. A mother's prayer and a father's encouragement changed the destiny of an entire nation. Never underestimate the power of prayer or the value of a godly home. Hannah's song opens chapter 2, being sung from her heart because she gave her son to the service of the Lord by presenting him to live with Eli and learn the priesthood. Even though Eli had lost his influence over his own sons, God kept Samuel pure in the midst of a defiled environment because he had parents who loved him and prayed for him. Because Samuel was Eli's helper, he was God's helper also. Samuel hears the Lord speak to him in the very next chapter. God gave his message to Samuel because he knew Samuel was faithful. The chain of command is based on faith, not on age or not on position. In finding faithful followers, God may use unexpected channels. Samuel was ready. The nation would now listen to Samuel's words, for they knew he was God's spokesman. Just think about what fell into order for Samuel to be where he is now. Be prepared for the Lord to work at any place, at any time, through anyone he chooses. 3 tragedies are recorded in chapter 4. Eli's 2 sons wanted God's help, but not God's holiness. Defeat in the battlefield brought death to both. Then, after hearing this, death came to Eli and his daughter-in-law. By the end of the chapter, read, Israel had neither the ark nor the glory of God. They were absent of both before their enemies. As you read 1 Samuel, note the transition of leadership. In the midst of reading all the history and adventure, determined to run your race as God's person from start to finish. Next week, we will continue with the read of 1 Samuel, so please check in because Biblical Shakers will make reading the Bible way more enjoyable for you. I pray the Lord will put a hunger on your heart.